Today is the 5th of October, and it's a pleasure to have everybody here. We are now going to be going into the weekly market outlook for the majors and gold, and we're going to find out what is happening and what opportunities are there for the week, right? If you look at this Euro USD, you would see that we've had this down move for now, right? And we would have been expecting a strong pullback to this area. But you can see that yesterday, Monday, we had this move up. And then now, just before London, right, we can see that it's dropping. And maybe it wants to hit this area, right? This is an area, a flip zone, and I'm going to show you now. So it probably wants to retest this area over here and then probably take off from here. Who knows, right? Or it wants to break out, use it as a retest, and then continue to tank. From what we have over here, it's not yet at the area of interest. We need it to drop a bit some more. So do not rush, do not jump into the market blindly. Wait for the market to properly get to your area of interest and then look for proper price action or whatever you use as your entry trigger. To jump into the market. So this is Euro USD here, nothing solid for now. And then we have the cable GBP USD. This will be a good place of interest. We just have to wait for it to do a proper test here, and it has acted as a form of support here, right? Or if it wants to come back and retest this area as a flip zone. The market is still pretty young, and we don't have anything on the radar for now. This is just what we're looking at, just to know if market price should get to this area or that area, what are we going to do? This Aussie is looking way too dirty for my liking, and I'm really not interested in it. But if you look closely, you notice that now it is presently sitting at this area of flip zone, right? An area of flip zone is an area that has acted as here resistance, resistance, support, resistance, and you can see a bunch of resistance and support over here, and now seems to be sitting on it. But this is early before London, just London period. And then if you look very well, some people might be loading up longs over here to take it up, but I'm still not convinced that this area is strong. It's generally on the overall, it seems to be ranging, and I'm not a big fan of what is happening here. So I'll rather pass on this Aussie. And of course, the Kiwi usually similar to it, but this Kiwi is a bit cleaner as we have it as a downtrend. On this downtrend, we would love for price to get back to this area here, but then it is shy of it. Please always ensure that your entries are at the areas of interest. This here could be an easy trap where it's now going down and then later it comes up properly here and it takes out your stops around here. You know, when you enter here, your stop loss stops are meant to be above that area of interest, right? So if you're jumping the gun and you're rushing it in a bit early, you might have a much bigger stop loss, which of course isn't good for your risk to reward ratio, right? So across board for the majors on gold, nothing too solid. The dollar Swiss not looking too good at all. Dollar yen, of course, not looking good. But if you look at this also, this is looking like a fib retracement. This could probably be about 50 or 61.8, and then it has gotten to this area here, right? Just eyeballing it has gotten to this area, but then it has already picked up some steam. So no need, you can't start jumping in here. This would have been a good place to enter where we had this form of I base. You had a couple of inside bars over here before it finally decided to take off, right? So nothing on this for now. Just need to exercise more patience. And this is the dollar card. The dollar card has been struggling. Why? Because the dollar has been strong and also the crude oil has been strong. As the crude oil has been strong, it has made the card also to be strong. So there's a counter over here. The crude oil has made new highs for the year, by the way, at $78 per barrel. We have a major supply zone at $95 per barrel. The question is, can crude oil get there before the end of this year? Let's wait to find out. And then finally, we have the gold. the shiny metal. And of course, this gold is also looking rather ranging. It's ranging, and then if you check the higher time frames, you check the weekly time frame as an example. On the weekly time frame, look at what we have. We have this area here that seems to be acting as a form of triangle, a wedge, right? And this is coming, of course, after a big bullish move from 2018. So what we have over here, the best thing to do is to wait for a breakout. I know this might take a little while since it's the weekly time frame that we're looking at now, but weekly time frame is always good, especially at the beginning of every new week, to give you the possible directional bias. We've been talking about this pin for a while, by the way, where the pin got to this supply zone, to this area of resistance, and then reacted to it. And as we're talking about this pin, where do you think the buyers of this pin, where do you think the investors, where do you think the stop loss is? The stop loss is most likely slightly below this pin, and most likely price would want to punish them, take them out, pull back, and use this area as a form of new resistance on the wedge, and then drop down. If this is going to happen, then we're going to have the dollar get stronger and stronger and stronger. Mind you, the dollar has also definitely made new highs for this year as well. And of course, it's looking as if it wants to push higher some more. But you know, before it pushes higher, we need that form of retracement, right? Meaning that it wants to go to the area of support in order to launch some more and fresh longs. And that's how the investors, traders in the market normally trade, right? They look for areas of interest where they can launch more fresh orders to take the market in that same direction. That's why when it comes to trading, I would always advise you to be a pullback. Always wait for a pullback, wait for a retest, wait for a retracement in order to continue in that directional bias. But let's see what happens in this weekly gold precious metal. We're going to have to wait for this. I'll definitely update you on this. But then for now, in conclusion of what we have for now, there's nothing solid on the radar to jump in today. We have to wait for something to come up. Don't forget also that this is the week of NFP. I repeat, this is the NFP week. And as we have this as the NFP week, we also have data coming out later today by 3 p.m. for the USD, right? So this is 3 p.m. UK time. We have the services PMI, and we should expect some possible volatility in the market. Don't forget, later this week, we have the NFP, right? We have the NFP on Friday, non-farm payroll. So expect some good volatility here during this period, right? But till then, trade safely, ensure that your stop loss is in check, ensure that your risk management is up to par, right? So that you don't make any mistake whatsoever. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the section below. If this video was helpful, give it a thumbs up. And of course, we're going to do a recap of what happened during the week, and then we will see the opportunities that we were able to take in the market. That is, if there were any opportunities whatsoever. So I want to say thank you for staying tuned. Don't forget, you have any questions or you have any feedback or suggestions, you want to see some other instruments introduced, we look at the majors and gold majorly. Or if you have any one that you want us to chip in, we can always chip that in once in a while and talk about it for you, right, to give you the directional bias. I want to say thank you for staying tuned, and of course, we'll get to talk again soon. Thank you and goodbye for now.